In Lesson 11, you will be working with making tables. If the missing fonts dialog box appears, you can go ahead and find the fonts. I would recommend replacing Minion Pro Italic with Times New Roman Italic. You can change those right down here. Right now it's set to regular. You can change it to italic. Click Change All. And then you can click Done. You'll notice that summer schedule is changed to italics. And the summer schedule on the second page is changed to italics as well. To create a table, you can convert existing text into a table, insert a new table at a text insertion point in a text, or you can just create a new table using the table function. Go to the top menu to Table and click on Create Table. And this is an example I'll give you. It says table dimension, body rows of 4, columns of 4. You can click OK. This will give you a loaded cursor, and if you click and drag, it will give you the table. 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can delete that and Control Z. That's just an example on how to show you. Often text for a table already exists, like this text right here. Select all the text, and you can go up to Table, and you can click Convert Text to Table. The column separator needs to be set to Tab because you'll notice that these bullets indicate, with paragraph formatting, indicating tabs. These are the other options that are available, but we're going to choose Tab. And we're going to click OK. It has enrichment courses with different names on them. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see. This is my new table. Next, we're going to work on changing rows and columns. When you start with data from a client or from a project, it's common that you will need to add a few rows or rearrange text. You can add rows above or below a selected row. The controls for adding and deleting columns work the same as for adding and deleting rows. For example, use your Type tool and click in Enrichment Courses. Click in this first cell right here. You can either right click and go to Insert a Row, and you can choose the number. For example, number, I'll do 1 row below, and I'll click OK. Instead of right clicking, you can also go up to Table, and you can insert a row, and you can specify that as well. You can do it above or below. I'm going to add 1 number, 1 row below enrichment courses. This first cell, you need to type department. The second cell, number, NO. Third cell is course name, and fourth cell is credits. Department. You can press Tab or click on the second cell. Number, course name, and credits. Select the cells in the row by clicking and dragging, or you can use this arrow feature where if you hover to the left of the table and you click on it, it selects the entire row. And then go up to Type and Paragraph Styles. You'll see this Paragraph Styles panel pop up. Right now it's as Table Head. We're going to change it to Table Column Heads. In the next section, you're going to insert a column, so you can deselect. And at the end of credits, click at credits. You're going to either right click or come up to Table and go to Insert, and you're going to insert a column. And we're going to do 1 column to the right. Click OK. and that inserts a column on this right side. Yes, it goes off the page. We don't need to worry about it at this moment. We will adjust that at a later part in the lesson. You can delete selected rows as well. For example, there's an extra row down here. If you click in there, you can go to Table and Delete Row. Table, Delete Row. And that row is now gone. While you're working on a table, you may find that information works better in a different order. In that case, you can select and drag rows or columns to a new location. For example, if you click one time in the math cell and you hover to the left, you'll see a right facing arrow. If you click that one time and then move over to the selected cell, you'll see it has a different shaped arrow with a loaded icon. It means that the cell can now be moved. You can click and drag that anywhere you want in this. I'm going to move it right here between fashion and recreation. You can also adjust the widths of the columns. You can deselect the math cells. You can adjust the widths of the columns and rows and the way the text fits within them. Because oftentimes the text inside of it needs fine-tuning. You can do that one of two different ways. You can go to Table. If you have your table selected, you can go to Table and you can come down to Distribute Rows Evenly or Distribute Columns Evenly. These are options you can choose from. Or you can hover between columns or between rows, and you can adjust it this way. Makes the columns larger, makes the columns smaller. The first column, the department column, needs to be set to 2.5 inches right here. 2.5. The second column, the number column, set that to 3.125. That's not 3.125, that's a 3 1/4. It's the 3 and the next dash. That's 3 1/8. The third column needs to be set to 5.25, 5 1/4. 5 and 2 dashes. The fourth column needs to be set to 6.25. And the fifth column needs to be set to 7.75. You can use these guides up here for your adjustments. 2.5, 3.125, 5.25, 6.25, and 7.75. Now that the column widths better fit the text, you will add a little space around the text cells. Go up to Window and go to Types and Tables. And from here, select Table. You'll notice that mine is already selected. It's already on this right-hand side. And then you're going to need to select this table. You have two options. Option one is you can do Table and Select. But first you need to click inside of it first. Click inside of the table first. Table, Select, Table. Another option you can do is you can select inside the table and do Control-Alt-A. This selects the table as well. In the top cell inset field, you'll notice that these are your insets down here. See right here it says top cell inset. Right here you're going to change this to 0.125 IN. And make sure the link is set properly. Make sure the link is set properly. What this does is it creates a 1/8 of an inch gap between the top of the text and the bottom of the text, and the left side of the text. You can also merge cells, merge adjacent cells. The way you do that is you click in this first cell, for example, and you need to select all those cells in the first row. I'm just going to use my arrow feature. And you can go to Table and Merge Cells. Now my title, my header, the cells are now merged.